Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing two things I got on Amazon. I'm not going to review all the guns, but these are from a company called like Weibo or something, I forgot. But they're these little gun robots, and they're not official. And then you have something that is official. I got Legacy United Optimus Prime. This is not the blaster he comes with, by the way. Those two back there and the axe are what he comes with. But anyways, I'm going to try and prop this phone up so I can actually do this review. Okay, now that I've actually got my phone propped up, let's do this. Okay, as you can see here, Earthrise trailer, Jada Toys Optimus Prime. That's what I would use for stop motion. But then we have, But then we have something that, if I ever do stop motion, I'll use for all the transformations. Or something, because the transformation doesn't get more accurate than when it's the actual original toy, just smaller. And yeah, so it turns out the original toy is actually scaled similarly to these guys. So as you can see, Siege Optimus Prime towers over this guy. For some reason their cabs are about the same size. Bumper's smaller. And then, of course, there's no stretching. The thighs and the legs are the size they should be. And instead of the feet just kind of folding past the wheel, come on, focus, you asshole. Instead, it folds right at the wheel, so the back axle is, of course, you can see it kind of rolling a little bit. Yeah, that's what the original toy did, but this is a bit smaller. It's got better articulation, but it's smaller than Missing Link. Because Missing Link is literally just, pretty sure it's just the original toy, but with articulation. I don't know why my camera's slowly moving like that every single time. Because my phone's not moving, it's just doing that. I gotta find a better way to make these videos, I'm just saying. I need a new stand so I can make YouTube shorts again. I'm just gonna do that so it's easier. But anyways, as you can see here, it's got this so he can do that. The bumper can go up so he can do this. All that. All the good articulation here. And yes, it can go all the way back too. Obviously, for transformation, he has to. And unlike Earthrise, they don't try to make him do the whole, oh, look, there's a hip rotation. Oh, look at that. Oh, now he's facing forwards. Oh, look, see the wheels are on the back. He doesn't do any of that crap. I always hated that. In my opinion, if you want to know how I would do the whole cartoon accurate and toy accurate thing without having a hip rotation, I would just have little plates here, like 2 plates about the size of this part. Have it swivel around to cover the wheels up, and then you're done. So to have 2 plates like this, folds around like that to cover the wheels, and then that's it. No hip rotation or any stupid gimmicks required. They actually animated in the cartoon. There was a couple of scenes in which they did animate kind of like a flap covering the wheels to explain why the model looked so smoothed out and didn't have any wheels. They did show that in the cartoon. Even though the cartoon has a ton of animation errors, that was one of the things that actually made sense. Unlike Ironhide just existing after he was supposedly dead and just flying too among the Decepticons. If you know what I'm talking about, then watch the Transformers 1986 movie. But anyways, a lot of posabilities. Got this swivel here, all the good rotation. The head, of course, does that. You can open the chest. I put the matrix in there. It does not come in the chest. You have to actually put it in there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And funny story, the original toys were actually this toy line called Diaclone, and basically it was a mecha that turned into a car. So you were actually a human piloting a vehicle that turns into a robot. And they rebranded it. Hasbro bought the rights to it and rebranded it as aliens, living metal beings from a distant world called Cybertron. There's Autobots, good guys, and then there's Decepticons that are bad and assholes, right? So yeah, if you've gotten this far and you think this review is for kids, yeah, you're mistaken. None of my videos are meant for little kids. High schoolers and up, because when I started making videos, I was in high school. So that is pretty much my demographic, is young adults and late teenagers. So if you're 7 and you're watching this video, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But anyways, as you can see here, he even has the ankle tilt, which I think is really cool. But yeah, let's transform him. Oh wait, no, we're not going to transform him yet. Don't fall over, please. Don't die like in the movie. But anyways, he's got 2 blasters. I'm assuming that one of these is like the toy and one of these is like the cartoon accurate version. I believe this one is the toy accurate version, I think. I'm not 100% certain. I could just be an idiot. But there that one is. And we have this one where it kind of is hollowed out here. I never knew what these were. I always assumed they were some sort of cooling vent, but I don't know. But this one is sharper looking and thinner and skinnier. Maybe this is the toy one. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments which one is the original, the thick one or the skinny one, because I don't know which is which. But anyways, we're going to equip him with it. On my copy, it's very tight, but on the left hand, it's even tighter. And let's see if I can actually get it in there. There we go. Please do not put that out of context. Please do not put that out of context. You just know someone's going to make an edit of that anyways. But yeah, dueling. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that's what Nemesis Prime does. I've always seen Nemesis Prime depicted as having 2 blasters, while Optimus Prime only has 1. Or at least so far, like in Transformers Earth Wars, he has 2 blasters, Optimus Prime only has 1. Some of the toys do that. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, just like the original toy, he's got his chrome stripes, bumper, blue legs, wheels are on the front of the shins, not the calves. I always hated that. It should be on the front of his legs. My Earthrise Optimus Prime kind of... if you haven't seen my YouTube short, please go watch it. I'll put a link in the description for that YouTube short if you want to know what my problem is with that. But closest thing to the legs for that is this. We have Legacy Scourge. And as you can see, it's on the back. They have a hip rotation. I hate it a lot. I mean, sure, it looks cool, looks good, but I would prefer the wheels be on the shins, not the calves. And he does come with an axe. What upsets me, though, is that this axe is only compatible with this guy. This guy is much smaller. I don't know why they couldn't have just, made him plastic and left it at that. Because I'm pretty sure the original is like, die cast and stuff? Pretty sure it's like die cast. He's still got rubber tires. I don't know if it's real rubber anymore. It feels kind of like maybe it's like a more plasticky style. I don't know. I'm not an expert on stuff just by the texture of it, but yeah. Anyways, I really wish that, I understand they're trying to make the Missing Link toy cheaper to sell on shelves, because the Missing Link is just, here's the original toy, give it articulation. Something that should have happened a long time ago, to be honest with you. And I really wish there were more of these for other toys like Megatron. And unfortunately, we won't get to see that in the United States because guns and stuff. Reasons. This was probably shipped from another country, to be honest with you. But, we really need other characters. But I feel like they're doing it slowly. The production is a bit slow or something. I don't know. They'll probably get to it, but I would love to see how they would handle Astrotrain because his thighs are like almost non-existent. I would love to see how they would handle that. But anyways, I really wish that they didn't scale him down. I wish they, you know, the plastic and, you know, it feels cheaper, you know, like more modern, like newer figures, plastic and stuff. Just not scaled down because I would have preferred him to not look like this and to look more like this instead. You know what I mean? Because when you compare him to, it'll probably be more apparent in vehicle mode, but you can tell already just by length, this is pretty closely scaled to everything else, especially Earthrise. So, as you can see, the wheels are a lot closer together, much smaller. So, not a great start. But aside from that, it's still a good figure. I love it to death, and I'm glad I bought it. Again, I'm just a little disappointed with the size, mainly because since this is scaled to fit his hand, it's scaled to fit his hand, and it looks awesome. You know, his battle axe.
I'm going to end your hunger once and for all, Megatron. That's it. One shall stand, one shall fall.
But since it's scaled for these skinny little arms, that means I'm pretty sure the only way I could be able to get this on that figure would be the outside would have to either be taken off, or I would have to find a way to somehow make this little edge part skinnier, and I'm not going to do that, nor do I have the resources to do that. If I had resources to modify my toys however I wanted to, well, this would be, no, not this. Then I would have fixed my Earthrise Optimus Prime, and I would have recolored some of the toys however I felt or saw fit, things and stuff, different things. Let's get straight into the transformation, and I'm going to stop freaking yapping. Oh, by the way, the smokestacks, they do come off, so... And just like Nemesis Prime did in the Netflix series, you can make him do this. And you can also pretend it's a Diaclone robot, like the commercials. I really liked the Diaclone commercials from Japan. They just looked so awesome. Would have been cool if they did an anime in that. Because it kind of reminds me of like the Godzilla movies, where they have stop motion, but then they have it's live action. But anyways, you can just pretend it's an actual Diaclone robot and stuff. But anyways, for transformation, it's basically the exact same thing, except there are extra tabs. And of course, first you're going to want to do this. When I first did this, I was like, oh no, it's not moving, it's going to break. And then, you know, it's just, yeah, you're going to rotate this around. So you're going to bring it down. You're going to open the arm down and then swivel it around, and then click it back into place. Do the same thing on the other hand real fast. 90-degree angle for the arms. Then you're going to take this backpack and you're going to fold down the head. Do that. Instead of it just flapping around, you have this backpack that it stores in. Again, you can do that if you want to. So. For the Diaclone figure, it was originally did this so that you could store a little guy in there, but now this one is definitely an alien being. It's not a machine, it's alive. So it's different. But yeah, then as you can see the arms, they just kind of, you know, you could tell this on the original toy very clearly. This is how you're supposed to transform. 90-degree outward, 90-degree forward, 90-degree down. Pretty straightforward. Just that action, which I think is pretty cool. But anyways, then just like the original toy, bring that like that. And then you're going to flip up the feet whenever you feel like it. Like that. It does slant upwards a little bit on my copy. I don't know if they all do that, but it does slant upwards. But I don't care enough, so whatever. Those do spin. They spin really good. But anyways, then you're going to do the hole, bring it back into place. It's a little tricky because there are little tabs you got to look out for. So on the thighs and the thighs, there are these little tabs in here, and you got to line that up. And then on the gas tanks, the diesel tanks, whatever the hell, there's this little, see that little gray dot? So that tabs into the arm, kind of hold it in place. Same thing right here, you can kind of see it like that. So you do that. Make sure everything is lined up. The bumper's got little extra tabs, as you can see. You just, yeah. Make sure the arms are all in there and everything. Make sure the legs are together. It's a little difficult to get the legs together, but I just hold it like this so that I don't mess up the wheels. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now that he's transformed into his vehicle mode, here you go. Freightliner FL86, 1983, I think. I don't know when it was made. The Diaclone toy line was 1983, so yeah. It rolls pretty good, pretty cool. And the funny thing is, for scaling with, yes, it does. It's compatible with the trailer. As a matter of fact, I love that they put the hitch further back and on top of the axles, unlike Earthrise, so that, you know, he can actually turn on most streets. Because the other toys have it all the way up here. Like Siege has it all the way up here. So, yeah. And then Earthrise has it like here. But it really should be here, in between the axles, but it goes here. But this is actually pretty good for the toy. Yeah, he can turn pretty good past 90 degrees, so he's fine on the streets. But the crazy thing is, he doesn't really scale well with Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer. What he actually scales well with, surprisingly, is I have this NASCAR truck. Don't know what the hell happened to the mirrors. I think they broke off. But it's got the fifth wheel, turns, it's got mud flaps, but it's a little fragile because it wants to snag on the bottom of the trailer like that for some reason. It's adding an itch. And as you can see, NASCAR, it's got a trailer that can open. I got race cars in there.
Bye, Joey.
Bye.
Bye, your brother.
Okay. And as you can see, I'm just gonna set this away because it's gonna destroy itself. But this actually goes in. It's not perfect because it's one of the wheels kind of off the ground a little bit. This one here. But it actually scales a lot better with that scaling though. Sure, the truck's a little bit wide, but just barely, like so little, like maybe a couple of millimeters. But yeah, the truck actually scales with this a lot better. Scales with this truck. I don't know what scale this is. I mean, I still have the Earthrise truck, but I've modified him, and he cannot transform back, otherwise the legs will fall off and stuff. So I modified him so I can use him for stop motion, have the arm come out like that, and aim a gun while driving, that kind of stuff. As you can see here, took the feet off using the screws, so now he's a more realistic looking truck. He's very worn out, the wheels here don't want to peg in all the way, and it's not lining up. It's like those chairs where it wobbles diagonally back and forth. I hate that so much. But anyways, so you can see this is a much smaller scale than this. So yeah. But anyways, scales surprisingly well. The wheels are about same distance from each other. And that looks about right, actually. Pretty accurate. Which I find interesting. I don't actually know if the race cars... Come on! They're all getting stuck on top of each other, and I freaking hate it. set these Hot Wheels aside, we want the car that came with it. So as you can see, here's a NASCAR race car. That's what they look like side by side. I don't think this is actually the scale, to be honest with you. Seems a bit too small, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Get in there. But yeah, anyways, enough of that. Again, this is how he scales next to the Jada Toys truck, which is similarly scaled to Earthrise. So that's what that looks like. Let me move the Apollo car real fast. See, it's very clearly much smaller. Wheels are much smaller. Oh yeah, and this one's got a picture of Optimus Prime on the bottom, so that's cool. Yeah, a little bit shorter. Width, like it looks like it's just barely smaller, but then you look at the side and see why he's so much shorter. Yeah. He is. Let's line their rear bumpers up and you can kind of see him sticking out here. Let me line it up with the camera so you can really see how much shorter. If we line up the cabs instead, because the cabs are about the same size, it's not too much smaller, it's the back that is very clearly scaled differently. As you can see, look how much. There's an entire wheel visible past that because, you know. But anyways, enough of that. Yeah, here we have Siege Optimus Prime. And then, yeah, all that. The other weapons, the axe is not compatible because of the outside, but it's still a 5mm port, so if there was room. I think my Bumblebee figure could hold it. Let me actually test that right here on camera. Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Though I'm not going to use this for that because he doesn't do that. So that's not really going to happen. But anyways, it's got a lot of other ports. So you have the fifth wheel here, but then you also have these ports on the feet and on the sides here. Of course, you got a port back here and all that stuff. And as you can see, unlike the original toy, the hands are not plugged in. They're actually part of transformation, so I think that's really neat. Really cool. Because on the original, I mean, if you lost the hands, you lost the hands. But yeah, you can just stick both blasters in the back here. Like, imagine you see a semi-truck driving down the road, and it's got these two guns. I would not want to be behind this. I mean, hey, it scares away tailgaters, so Optimus Prime doesn't really have to worry about tailgaters like this. I have too many alarms. Gosh, for things I don't even do anymore. Sorry. As you can see, I mean, no one's going to tailgate him, you know? Because if they do... But anyways, yeah, you can... Yeah, this one, not really much you can do. You'd have to put it on the fifth wheel. See if I can... Yeah, see? It looks stupid. Just like any other... Just like putting any other energy weapon on a car. Like Skids from the Legacy toy line or whatever. It just looks stupid. It looks like a goofy mohawk. Here, it looks... You know, still looks really stupid. But hey, there's a place you can put the weapon. So... But, to be honest with you, I'm just handing these over to Scourge because I think it looks awesome on him. To be honest with you, I cannot lie to you. I think it looks cooler on Scourge. Especially because of the black here. The shiny black, by the way, it's shiny.
It's time that you perish, Autobots.
So yeah, that's what I use that for. But anyways, now on to the next figure. I'm actually going to bring out the other one. not all of these. I'm not gonna transform all of them, but forgot what his channel is, but I will put a link to his channel and the video in the description. He does a lot of like combining figures together, giving them combiner modes when they don't actually combine normally, and all that stuff. Super cool, but he did a review on these and gave them all names. I don't think this is actually their real names. I'm pretty sure he just came up with them, but I really liked it. And they're pretty good guns. Do not get this for your kids. I mean, if you go around in public waving this around, it doesn't matter that it's too small to actually... I mean, this is not how a real gun scales. I mean, I have another toy gun that scales probably a little bit better than this. It's a little bit bigger. But still, oh yeah, it had a orange thing, but I just removed it. Yeah, these ones don't come with the orange things at all. So, if you're waving this around, you might get shot. Just saying. So do not bring these in gun mode in public. Or just don't take them out of the house. If you go through air support security, they will arrest you. They'll be like, oh, it's a frickin' transformer. Of course it is. You're gonna still be in cuffs just for that. Like, they look really realistic. But yeah, these are really good looking guns. They have die cast in them. My only complaint is the combine mode doesn't even hold together. By the time I finished combining them, it already started falling apart anyways. Not really a lot of posability. I feel like the combine mode does have posability, but that's because it does not have this. It does not. It just goes forward and backward, and that's it. And I couldn't even figure out how to combine it correctly. I just plugged it in. This is the knee, and did it like this, because the way they wanted me to transform it would require breaking the head, so it's impossible. I don't know how the other guy did it. But anyways, I'm going to try and remember what the guy called them. I think he called this one, because it's the Desert Eagle, he called it Sandhawk or something like that. And then, don't remember, Scaramanga, or I think, was this one Gaston, or am I a moron? Probably a moron. Don't remember what this guy was called, but he is a Glock, so. And you got Megan, so. But anyways, I'm just going to be only transforming Megan for today. If you want me to review the other ones, then, you know, let me know in the comments. But anyways, transform her. You're just gonna try and wedge your fingernail into it to split it in half. And it's gonna come apart. You're gonna swing it around. And the arms are already coming apart like that. Move them however the hell you want. I didn't use the instructions. It was pretty easy to figure it out. Bring up the sides. Bring it out so that they're knees. Stick your fingernail in this and try repeatedly to get it transformed when it refuses. To get the feet out on both sides. Come on. Come on, Megan. Don't fight me. And then you're going to collapse this. Make sure these are facing back. We're going to try and tab it in. I'm going to flip the head around. You can see why this would be the girl, because it's got, kind of almost looks like hair. Yeah, little hair. And anyways, then you're going to bring it around to where the knees face the correct direction, and then there you go. The knees are good. You can go out, back, forwards, all that. There is no, like, these are pretty simple. No wonder they were cheap. Something is not fully transformed because it's uneven. But yeah, it's very simple figure. I don't know what I really expected. The arm, that based on the hand, it's supposed to face this way, but this is the best you're going to get. That is as far as it goes. I'm pushing. It does not go forwards anymore. For your bicep, that is all the rotation you are going to get. So I really wish they did something different here. These figures have a lot of potential. But like there's some pretty easy ways to fix this that won't be too expensive, but they just didn't do it. So she cannot even, her arm cannot go flat, her arm cannot rest. That is the best you're gonna get. If you want her hand to face the correct direction, that is the best you're gonna get. So yeah. The other figures are like this, but at least this figure has hands. Some of the other ones don't even actually have hands or can't even move their arms at all. At least she has elbows. And knees. Only like 2 figures have knees. It is just kind of weird, but whatever. So yeah, she's a lot of potential, but not really a lot going on here. So it's not like this figure here. Not going to get any ankle tilts, no thigh swivel. The arms barely even function as arms. And no, she does not have any ports. So unfortunately, no weapons. I mean, she turns into a weapon, but I feel like it's a lot more of a pain in the ass to just repeatedly transform all the time during battle. You know what I mean? Megatron at least has a fusion cannon, and Optimus Prime could use the smokestacks to shoot lasers. But she does not even... They don't even come with weapons. It's just 5 robots. That's it. No lore. Nothing. Just off-brand, knockoff Transformer things. So yeah, no ports. Yeah, the closest thing to a port that... there is something that's kind of somewhat like a port, but there's not one on her. It's because of how they combine. Let's see, it's not the guy that's a Glock. I'm pretty sure it's the guy that is a... oh gosh, I dropped him. Like a dumbass, I dropped him. Where the hell? Seriously? Anyways... Right here on the legs, you got a port, 5 millimeter. So I stand corrected. It is not 5 millimeter. It's 4.5 millimeter. Of course. That's what I get for making assumptions that this would actually be that good. But yeah, it's really just a gun robot. It's not supposed to be a character of any kind. Like you kind of got to use your imagination with this. I mean, it's probably just only slightly better than G1. So if you like figures that are kind of like G1, then go for it. But yeah, this does not hold up today. As a matter of fact, I will get out Astro Train. Stop trying to kill yourself. Just stand up. I'm going to get my reissue Astro Train so I can show you. How do I do this? Oh yeah, and he's got the sticker. See, it's glowing. But yeah, anyways. Bring this out. Kind of have to have fingernails, at least somewhat, for this, or it's going to hurt. Can move his arms all the way around. Look at that. He can actually move his arms all the way down, all the way forward. Sure, he doesn't have elbows, but at least he can do that. At least he can do a decent pose. That is the best you're going to get for knee movement, and that doesn't even count because that's not intentional. You got to kind of wedge it in toward the end. Otherwise, it'll be loose, because if you don't, yeah. And I mean, look at that. His thighs are like non-existent. So, really interesting how they would do missing link for that. The arms are multiple pieces though, so one time I unscrewed it, tried to see if a joint could be added to that, but then it fell apart and I had to put it back together. It was kind of difficult to get it to stay put while I put it back together. So, yeah, don't try it. But the potential is there. I always thought the arms would slide out and it would fix the proportions, but no. You can also slide this down and do that. So, but she does not do any of that because Megan isn't even a legitimate transformer. Not a Diaclone, not a transformer, not a reissue, nothing. She's, you know, an off-brand gun robot. So, don't expect too much from it. You know what I mean? But even though I am quite disappointed, I mean, I got what I paid for. You know, this is kind of what I expected. You know, they are small. I knew they were going to be small. And, I mean, it's a gun. It's cool. They look awesome when they're guns. So that's cool. And I hate that this is technically the first combiner I've completed, and it won't even stay together. It's not even official. I hate that so much. Speaking of combiner, just for scale, you want to see what she looks like next to my... How the hell do I get her to stand up? Come on, Megan, stop. Megan! Oh my gosh. What is her problem today? Here she is next to my other figures. I mean, look how small she is.
Hey, shorty.
Here she is next to a fellow gun, Megatron. He doesn't actually turn into a gun, but, you know, it's supposed to look like he does. Here she is next to Skybite. Tremble before Taco Bell. If you don't understand that, go watch my silly playlist. Silly videos by Joseph Kelly. And you will pretty quickly understand that joke. As you can see, she is at crotch level to literally everyone. So, Earthrise, Starscream. And he's always kind of been short for compared to everyone else. And then, of course, Netflix Optimus Prime. I mean, what'd you expect? I got all of these and discounted. I got a free coupon and got all 5 of them for like what? Like about $12 because the normal price is like $24. So at least I can say I didn't pay too much for them. They're not like a ridiculous price, because if this was priced the same as Siege Optimus over here, I'd be really pissed. But it's not. It's pretty cheap. It's not Apple. It's not charging you too much for the exact same phone with 0 things changed. Forgot to... Yeah, very good looking gun mode. Very tiny. As a matter of fact, Good luck trying to ever get a combiner to hold this. That is probably the only use that would have. Pretty sure this is just to be collected or for a little kid to have.
Guess what, Megatron? I kidnapped her. Now she's my gun. Remember that time you kidnapped my girlfriend? Well, now I kidnapped your niece, so have fun.
Yeah, so I might use her for maybe a skit in one of my YouTube shorts, but that's kind of it. Would not recommend for stop motion animation, but yeah, that's about it. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know. Make sure to check out my other content. I don't just do reviews. I've made my own series. Just Animation's Friends has 4 episodes. Just Animation's Friends Universe is all the videos that are lore related to each other and, you know, that are canon, all in order. So if you want to watch that, check that out. And then, of course, you know, all the other crap. All the other stuff. And then, you know, I make reaction videos. I also make my own music, but I haven't gotten around to doing it in a while because I'm recording this on my phone, and my phone is not Apple. My iPad is Apple, and Apple hates me for no reason. They're assholes because I should not have such little storage space when I had only reset my iPad because of that storage space issue whenever I made my last YTP, which was like a year ago. Probably less than a year ago. That is ridiculous. But I do make music whenever I get the opportunity to do so. So make sure to check that out. Most of it's instrumental, so, you know, don't have to worry about any cussing or any lyrics you don't like. And then I do also sometimes I do make like silly content, edited content. Like I've made videos like Grinch Steals Your Taco Bell, and I made that like 6 years ago when I was in my freshman year of high school. And I've made videos like also in my freshman year of high school where I basically made this animation of Skybite doing stupid stuff with Taco Bell. Tram Bell before Taco Bell. And then some other character is telling them they're annoying as hell. Or the joke. There's this running gag. Kind of like in Family Guy, Meg always gets beat up. Skybite always says some stupid thing about Taco Bell, and then he gets a Cadillac Escalade thrown at him. Yeah, it's always a Cadillac Escalade. Some white luxury SUV is thrown at him. But yeah, anyways, yeah, this is kind of how I'm going to store him. That's what he looks like with that blaster. But yeah, that's about it. You can click one of these 4 cards if you want. But that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I have other content. This stuff is content I'd recommend. So anyways, thank you so much for watching.